Boy, have I missed all of you, and I'm pretty sure you didn't miss me because I still had videos coming out. But, of course, I am back, and I am so excited to talk about what's to come in Genshin Impact. And what is to come in Genshin Impact? Well, we know that Nefer is coming this week, and we do know what the characters are going to be. Obviously, the 4 stars being Kale, Xingqiu, and, of course, Yao Yao, followed by also a rerun of, Fiorina being one of the best characters in the game. But I did want to talk about all those characters, and if you should summon on these banners, trust me, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a hard one because, well, again, as much as I don't know about Nefer, I know a lot about Fiorina, and not summoning Fiorina might be a crime. But before we get into that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that hype button, and of course the notification bell to be notified of when the next Genshin Impact video comes out. And of course, don't forget to check out my sponsor, GamerSupps. Use code TYSTRA for 10% off of your purchase. Guys, I actually got to try the new flavor, Crimson Moonburst by Lord Aethelston, and my god, I'm going to save it for the video when it finally releases, because I will be releasing the reviews, the taste test, and the carbonation on, obviously, here, but of course on TikTok as well. So make sure to tune in. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Now, the first one I want to talk about is, of course, Yao Yao. And the reason why I want to talk about Yao Yao first is because I feel like this character does not get a lot of love in general. Now, besides the fact that obviously it's a Dendro polearm character, she actually mainly focuses on Dendro application and healing. And that's what I really like about her, right? Is the fact that she's able to kind of combine her skill and her burst in one to get that really good healing plus Dendro application. So I have a lot of fun with her in that regard. And I think that many people think that that's kind of a one-trick pony. There is a downside to this, is that when you're in her burst, the burst does not stay on the field if you switch her off field, right? So it makes me a little sad, because I think that Yao Yao could benefit from switching that burst to stay on the main field a little bit better. But I still feel like she's still good. Like, especially if you're needing a healer on your team. I've actually had, and I'm going to point this out because somebody said this about Zhongli, and I'm pretty sure they're going to say this about healers as well. People throw a fit about me saying that shielders and healers deserve a lot more praise. They say, like, oh, you wouldn't have to worry about it if you dodge. I think that that's a little bit wrong. Now, the reason why I say that is because healers and shielders are there in case you have a bad time of dodging. And that doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad. They do actually do multiple things outside of just shielding and healing. In this case with Yao Yao, like I said, the Dendro application kind of fits, especially if you're going for Nefer, who is going to also be using Dendro. And then you have Fiorina, who is a Hydro. You're going to get that new Lunar Bloom mechanic heading out there. It's really, really good. So keeping the Dendro application on is a must. So Yao Yao, I think, is actually pretty decent. Do I think that she's a top tier character? Absolutely not. But I do think that she deserves a lot more praise than she gets. So for me, Yao Yao is a little bit of a, I'd say about a 60%, a thumbs up, just about, you know what I mean? She's definitely deserves a lot more praise. Now, Kale is also very good about Dendro application. As you can see, both Yao Yao and Kale's skills I haven't really worked on. My main goal for them is just Dendro application. I think that I still should probably work on these skills a little bit. But I will say that in the times that I have used them back when I was in Sumeru, especially Kale here at the beginning, Kale was actually very good. I don't know how she kind of fares in today's meta, but I would assume that it's not as good as she used to be, especially since Dendro application is really all that she's entirely good for. I think that she can be a decent sub DPS character, but I don't think she's turning the scales that much, you know what I mean? But she is, in essence, a better Dendro applicator than I would say Yao Yao. But with Yao Yao, you're also getting the benefit of the extra healing on top of that, so it kind of leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to Kale herself. Now, story-wise, like, the backstory that she has with Amber and what she's had to go through with the doctor, she's great for the storyline. But again, I just feel as though like Kale kind of falls a little bit short compared to Yao Yao. So I'd probably give her a 40 on the thumbs up, thumbs down scale, just because again, I don't feel like she's beating out Yao Yao when it comes to Dendro application usage, because again, Yao Yao has the ability to also heal. But that's just my take on it. Let me know in the comments down below if you feel that Kale is a better Dendro applicator than Yao Yao. Xingqiu, my boy, okay? Now, just to be clear, I thought that he was a girl when I first saw him. Same with Venti. I got tricked. The meter didn't go off, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. I know that some people think the derogatory term trap is horrible. I don't think it's really that bad when it comes to anime games. I don't think really anybody cares. Just overly sensitive people. But yes, I fell for the trap at first. I was like, oh, she's pretty. No, it's a dude. But outside of that, Xingqiu is still one of the best sub DPS characters and off-field DPS characters that you could possibly have on your team. His skill basically gets you a lot of energy right out the gate. And then having that burst, or really, let me go back really quick. Having Sacrificial Sword on Xingqiu makes him all that much better. He's just so good. And then, of course, outside of the Sacrificial Sword, right, being able to use your burst to get those swords for every basic attack you do, he is so great when it comes to, like, combining him with basic attackers. Like here, I could go ahead and go over a small list, especially if you're using Dendro. You got people like, you know, Ito, Navia obviously uses a little bit of basic attacks. As we move forward, blah, 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 blah. I'm kind of losing it. Skirk is a very good basic attacker. Ayaka uses basic attacks a lot. Raiden, Shogun. There's so many other options, right? I don't know how Nefer is going to be, but I'm pretty sure that Nefer is going to be using a lot of basic attacks. I mean, not really sure. I'm pretty damn sure. Because from how her kit is built, it just makes it makes sense to have somebody like Xingqiu paired with her, especially if she's going to be that main basic attack DPS. So to me, I feel like Xingqiu is 100% thumbs up always. He's always a good character to have on your account and built. So people who do not have him built either don't know his game or just are new. Get it done, build him up, and he's great to summon for. And now that we got the 4 stars out of the way, let's talk about the first of the 5 stars. First things first, let's talk about Furina. God, she is a beautiful character. I love her. I think that she deserves a lot of praise. Her story has been fantastic. If you have not been through the Fontaine story, I highly recommend getting to it. It is one of my favorite stories when it comes to gacha gaming, personally. Now, again, gacha gaming story does not equate to actual stories. Clair Obscur beats Genshin out the water, but this story with Furina was very, very good. I loved it. Outside of that, her abilities are fantastic. Like, if we go over here, having her use her skill as an off-field, you get, obviously, Hydro Application, which is great to have alongside Nefer. Fantastic stuff. She's boosting attack, doing so much. And then, of course, her Burst, doing fantastic stuff. But mainly, for me, it's the skill. Having that skill as the off-field just makes your life that much easier when it comes to reactions. And outside of that, she's got a whole bunch of stuff when it comes to her kit. Just in general. Like, yeah, you may be losing health, but you're also gaining it back. So you don't have to worry about that stuff. She's, again, one of the top 5 best characters in the game. Like, if you have not summoned for her, I highly recommend. But don't do what one guy did, where you spend $600 of your rent money on getting her, and then having to deal with losing your significant other, right? If you are going to go bankrupt trying to go for her, please don't do that. Obviously, I do my summons. I pay for my summons so that you don't have to, right? I do my summons just because it's content. Please don't do this to yourselves. I beg of you. Be nice to yourselves when it comes to your bank account. But yes, Furina is 100% must summon. I think that she's just fantastic. Now, of course, I am using Loot Bar GG to talk about Nefer's kit a little bit. We already know that she's going to be a Dendro Catalyst, but she's going to be a melee fighter. So, obviously, that means she's going to be an on-field DPS. Other on-field fighters that we've seen before, obviously, are Risley and, of course, Heizo, which is pretty cool. I love the fact that they could do that. I think that opens up a lot of options, of course. But very excited for Nefer. So let's go ahead and dive in a little bit. She's going to revolve around Lunar Bloom, which we already knew from the live stream. When she uses her elemental skill, Nefer enters the Shadow Dance state, and if she has at least one Verdant Dew, her charged attack is replaced by Phantasm Performance. This attack summons a shade of Nefer to perform coordinated attacks against enemies, which is considered as lunar bloom damage. Now, what are we talking about when we think about the coordinated attacks or the shades and stuff like that? If you play ZZZ, there's a thing called Aftershock. And in essence with this, your team members who can build up Aftershock come in and do attacks. You don't have to worry about your other teammates doing it with Nefer because, again, this isn't ZZZ, this is Genshin Impact. And 2, this is built right into her kit, so she's doing coordinated attacks with her shade, which is pretty dang cool, right? And again, she's getting the charge attacks, but I think you're building up the Verdant Dew from charged and basic attacks, which means that Xingqiu and Furina are going to be great options for you in general. And Nefer also gains additional buffs based on the party's moon sign, with the moon sign effect Ascendant Gleam. Casting her elemental skill transforms all existing Dendro and Bountiful cores into Seeds of Deceit, which can be absorbed and turned into Veils of Falsehood stacks, which can increase Nefer's elemental burst damage based on the number consumed. So she has that built into her burst, but I think that the main goal is doing that basic / charged attack damage, building up your Ascendant Gleam, getting the Seeds of Deceit, and just pounding away, right? So I think that she's going to be a very, very fun character. Do I think that she's going to be the best Dendro character when it comes to DPS? Probably. I think that we've had Alhaitham at the top for a very, very long time, and I think Nefer is going to top him. However, I don't think it's going to put Alhaitham in a bad spot. I think Alhaitham is still going to be one of the better Dendro DPS characters out there for a long, long time. But Nefer is definitely going to put up some numbers, especially since they're putting so much into these lunar reactions. Lunar Bloom is going to be insane. So do I think that Nefer is a must summon? If you're going for a Lunar Bloom team and you want to prioritize having Nefer on that team, yes, absolutely. Because again, lunar reactions are going to do better. But I do think, again, and this is just me, because a lot of people have been saying I'm a professional hater. I just want to point out it's not hating, it's just facts. The fact that we're getting these lunar reactions, but they only go for the new characters, obviously, is to get money out of your pockets. So I beg of you, don't spend your money. Just, use your free summons. If you don't get her, you don't get her. If you do, you do. But yeah, don't go bankrupt for these characters. Do I think that Nefer is a must summon? I think that she's going to be definitely worth the summon materials. But I don't think that you need her to build up good, especially if you already went for Lauma. Lauma already does a significant amount of damage as she is, even with a support. And honestly, I don't think it's really needed, but that's just my take on that. But without any further waiting, should you summon on Nefer and Furina? I think yes on Furina and on Nefer. If you feel like you need it, I'm not going to stop you. But that's going to be it for today. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think I'm just hating? I'm not trying to hate. I'm just trying to speak my truth. So that's it. But like, comment, subscribe. Check out Gamer Subs. Use code Taisha for 10% off. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.